Hey everybody, welcome to Northernlion tries Ether Loop. This is a code. It's an email success story. I've been doing more Northernlion tries. I've been sifting through the emails coming in, and I saw an email that said, "This looks a little bit like Enter the Gungeon." What does it say? It's Enter the Gungeon on crack. That's the little sauce put on the email by David. Hey D-Mart on Twitter. I appreciate that. It is a bullet heck roguelite. It came out on the 21st of January. So after I used the code, thank you to the developer for the code, I did go take a look at the reviews so far, and they're positive. People are saying it's an addictive roguelite. I'm eager to give it a try. Please, yes, I will play the tutorial. You know what? Put me on the key BM here. And by key, I mean K. And by K, I mean keyboard. RMB to dash. Okay, so it's like you got the... Oh, jeez. I saw the stats there, but I picked it up too fast. It's kind of like the... Oh, okay, you're giving me materials. You'd love to see it. It's like having the scarf from Gungeon. You don't dodge roll. You actually do like an air dash. 10% increased status effect chance. Thank you. One shock deals 20 damage and shocks nearby monsters. So plus 2 projectiles, but decreased damage. Oh, and you can... Okay, you can check it with tab. But let's kill some of these enemies first. Oh, that's cool. So, like, immediately we got modifiers. Can I just say, right off the bat, if the developers are watching this, I give you a +1 for tutorial design. A lot of roguelites, and, you know, I'm getting way too anal about this already. Hold on. It's an active ability. Freeze monsters in a cone in front of you. Good. That'll give us a chance to talk. They assume that you know what's going on in their roguelite, which is probably true if you've played Gungeon, Isaac, Nuclear Throne, Spelunky, etc., etc. But it takes a little while to get a vertical slice of what synergies actually look like and stuff like that in emerging gameplay. So to put that in, the tutorial seemed really smart so far. So let's hop down here and see what's going on. We have been taken. Alright. What do you got for me? We got some kind of... Maybe those are the boots that gave us the dash to begin with. We start with 20% crit chance. Yo, that's not too bad. As far as games go. Oh, do I pick one? Orbiting shield, 10% increased critical chance, or extra movement speed. Cursed. Okay, so higher monster HP, but we did just get better crit chance as well. Yo, our rate of fire. Oh, it's like... Our rate of fire is so slow right now. Number one thing, I just gotta put myself in the roguelite mindset that we're playing Enter the Gungeon. I'm also gonna move myself slightly here. Camera-wise, I think bottom right. You never know until you start playing it where you should be. Alright. So I will tell you, as much as... I saw a very interesting tweet today, and it was a tweet that was in discussion, or it was in reference, I should say, to Temtem. And we shouldn't necessarily begin our discussion of a roguelite by talking about a different game that released this week, but I do think it's relevant, because we're talking about roguelites, which are a very crowded genre. Let's see what's going on with this. 30 seconds of survival, I'm assuming, in this tiny little ring. It said Temtem has become... like indisputably the biggest indie game launch of the year, and it's a bald-faced successor to Pokemon. It's not an original idea. So the gist of the tweet was that originality maybe is a little bit overrated in comparison to execution. And I gotta say, to be honest with you, I very much agree with that. I died in the process there. Incredible. I would consider myself a believer in that, to be honest with you. I think people are always looking at, they overvalue, in my opinion, in the games industry at least. They overvalue the idea of innovation and don't actually reward it, and instead undervalue coming up with perhaps a slight inversion of an existing formula, but doing it well. And that's why, and you're like, how does this connect to what we're doing at all here? This will be picking this up. Whoa, very interesting. That's why, like, immediately I'll tell you, I am enjoying Just looking at what we got here. +2 projectiles. Let's try it. Can't recover health? That seems absolutely horrible. That's immediately why I'm kind of like interested in this right off the bat. It doesn't seem to me, at least at the early stages here, like this is really doing anything new. But I think it's doing a lot of the old things better than some of the roguelikes that we've played on the channel recently, to be honest. 10% damage bonus. A lot of times I play... I think games can... And I mean, we're literally 5 minutes into this episode here. So it's most... I'm not talking about, you know, Ether Loop specifically, because we haven't really examined what the heck happens here at all. Let's see what happens if we try to buy this. It cannot be done. What happens if we shoot him? Oh, God! I'm sorry, I got so scared. Okay. I figured we wouldn't be able to buy it, because we're not supposed to be able to recover HP, but... it's more of just like food for thought, you know what I mean? Because I've played a lot of roguelikes, or roguelites, you know, if you want to be super anal and weird about it, that are like, here's what we're doing differently. And I'm like, you know, I don't necessarily think, you know, what makes Gungeon great is what it does different than Nuclear Throne. You know, I think it's, you know, a lot of these games, oh, we can still get crystal hearts, I guess. That's what those are. A lot of these games, I'm just like, just give me great, solid mechanics and get me excited early, you know? So this is, we go down to the next floor, but I want to explore a little bit more of this floor. This is the first time we've ever managed to live this long. So it's the shop. Hold on. It was like, do I want to do the survival situation again? I don't know. That was kind of like, seemed to put me in a bad spot before. And what is it? I'm just trying to figure out on the map what everything means. So this is the item room. It is a little weird not having a delineation between those rooms so far. But we have, it just takes some getting used to, I'm sure. We have 82 coin. Let's see if we can purchase something from the serpent, who is now gone. Honestly, I think buying a crystal heart seemed very sensible to me. Wasn't there another one of the survival rooms up here? Maybe I... No, there it is. Okay, let's do it. I was trying to see what happened if I could just leave. Trying to stay out of the way with positioning, because the dodge roll, I'm not saying it does not work, but I think my muscle memory is tuned to a Gungeon frequency right now. We're so much stronger than we were last time. One of the things I can tell this game's doing really well right off the bat is, it has, well, let's see. +1 freeze. Duration is proportional to monster's max health and freeze level. We can go one more. Let's give it a try. Hey, here's something that's doing this new. A little spicy. I'm loving the freeze, though. One thing it does really well is really early on, we're getting a bead for, you know, the way that items interact with each other, which is really like a big part of the enjoyment of a roguelike for me is, you know, not what items are in the game, but if I pick up an item that's like spread shot and then an item that's explosive shots, do they play off of one another? Or like does one supersede the other? The more they play off, like the more enjoyable I think the game becomes. +1 projectile. I didn't mean to hit it again. This will probably be our death. It's not my intention to do this. But a lot of these games, and if you've been watching the Northernlion tries, you'll probably have been aware of this, but a lot of the games I've been playing with the, like, roguelikes in particular, they make me work really hard to get to the point where we get those interesting mechanics working. I have, oh my god! Yeah, that's fair. I got a little bit too feisty on that. It was just honestly an accidental hit of the E button. But that's cool. We know maybe one is enough for that next time. This one, it's hitting me with some sauce early, and I respect it and I appreciate that, because a lot of games make you work a little harder for it. And you know, again, it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, hard work isn't a bad thing, but, you know, I don't mind spending a lot of effort to bust into a crab leg if there's delicious crab meat on the inside. If I bust into a crab leg and it's like a celery stalk, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Probably could have found a better alternative to this from a work-life balance situation. 75% extra damage on monsters with full HP. Also already, I'll tell you, it's exploring some interesting design space. You know, some of these, and I'm really throwing a lot of shade at other games in this genre. But sometimes I'm like, as soon as I play a game, I'm like, I get it. Speed, fire rate, damage, blah, blah, blah. This is, it does have some of those. I don't think you can have a game like this without them. And nor, I don't think you would want one necessarily. But some interesting mechanics as well, like extra damage against monsters with full HP. Now it gets your head sort of theory crafting, right? Like, okay, now that we do damage against monsters with full HP, what if we could build a run that was like really, really low fire rate, but it did a ton of damage on that first shot and just killed enemies? So honestly, I kind of liked the freeze last time. I feel like having more time to stay away from enemies is good. 10% base damage. More time to stay away from the ill effects of an enemy, I should say, I think is good. And you are like a pseudo-boss. Mini-boss, maybe? But it seemed like this was like an optional room. That was easy. It's a different gun. But we still have the other mechanics. Oh, I love this gun. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, okay, we'll head down to the next floor. This time, we didn't get a survival room, which is probably good for my own survival, ironically enough. Oh, I was just about to take a sip of my coffee. My mistake. Oh, okay. Hold on, I am just gonna lower the volume ever so slightly because I am a narcissist. Hold on, I also saw bigger item text. Let's get that going. I always want to make sure I'm highest in the mix. I don't want you to get confused about what you're watching for. So does one freeze... Oh, this is the boss, for sure. Does one freeze mean every shot lands one unit, one tick of freeze? Or does it mean like... Oh, okay, I've seen this pattern before in my life. I apologize if the bitrate's getting a little spicy. Or does it mean that there's like proportionally like a higher percentage chance of freezing an enemy the more freeze you have? You know what I mean? I'll tell you, it looks like bosses are immune to freeze. And I also believe we will almost certainly die here, but we're working on it. It's all the dodge. Like, oh, double right click almost screwed me there. We've done it! +1 life container. And it fills up to start with. Let's go. Okay, so that's our boss. Now we got a little idea of the loop. And let me tell you, that first floor... Oh, that's a little scary there, isn't it? That first floor went by real quick. I have a lot of, like, little things that I like about this game after only playing it for, like, 10 minutes. I really, really like... Generally speaking, the faster a roguelite works, the more I like it. Which is honestly, and again, we're talking about a lot of stuff here, extra crit damage. That's one of the things that worked against me when it came to enjoying Noita. Yo, look at this. Damage immunity for 1 second by using your active. Love to see it. And you can see the charge rate there too. So let's pop that. Maybe I'm overrating it, but I love invincibility in these games. And I am certainly not suggesting that Noita is a bad game. Rather, there's a healer in there. I'm suggesting that for whatever reason, Noita just didn't work out too well for me. One of the reasons was that I really felt like the run seemed kind of long when I was playing it. And that might be steeped in ignorance, to be honest, but I much prefer one that's a little on the shorter side. Was I shooting the healer or was I shooting the... whatever. Now, I don't know if these are short, but if the floors are whipping by this fast, I like that sense of pace, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I am trying to figure out as well... Oh, my active was not ready. I'm trying to figure out what the heck charges are active. Is it this? No, that's money. The stuff we get is money. And in many ways, as many people have told me in the past, the bones are their money. So are the worms. All they want's another chance at life. They've never seen so much food as this. Underground, there's half as much food as this. Dash upgrade. 50% damage bonus to your next shot. I do think we're on the verge of demise. You're the healer, dude. I don't know why I thought the stone artifact would heal. So I'm just trying to... There you go. That's what you're looking for. Much better. One more hit will kill us. This is not a half-heart based game. In fact, we almost got tagged right there. Just be careful! I'm invested. I'm attached. We got a lot more exploration to do. I don't want to fight a boss in this situation. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm racking my brain right now trying to find some negatives. The only negative that I can feel right now is that, you know, presentationally speaking, I think the game looks fine. But it is maybe like a cut below, you know, aesthetically. I got hit. Some of the more well-loved games in the genre, maybe, but I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. And the other thing is, you gotta couch everything here in the caveat that this is only like, you know, I've barely played it so far. Damage immunity for 1.5 seconds. Oh, it costs energy! Okay. It's a new boss. And I'll tell you, like, it's probably not wise for me to, you know, alienate other games that are also, you know, made by presumably good people and are trying hard to make, you know, good art and good product. But, like, there are a lot of roguelites, especially, like, I felt like last year there were a couple of roguelites. Let's see what this does. Oh, I do like this, actually. That got more popular than I would have given them that level of popularity, and I'm not some kind of arbiter of, you know, what does and doesn't deserve attention necessarily, but, you know, I was like, this is only getting attention because it, like, looks nice. It's kind of boring or even, like, mechanically annoying. This is almost like, I don't want to call it the opposite, because again, I don't think it actually looks like bad or uninspired, but I guess, like, I do want that. I'm like, does this look as good as something like Moonlighter? I personally would say no, but so far I've enjoyed, you know, the 17 minutes that I've played this game a lot more than I've enjoyed Moonlighter in the, you know, hour and a half that I've played it. So I should have worked harder to, you know, say my opinion about this without tearing another game down. But, you know, the compare and the contrast, you come by it honestly. And that was also the constant, like, annoyance for me with Slay the Spire is, like, I was playing that game. Oh, projectiles ricochet. Let's go. I was always telling people, like, oh, this Slay the Spire game is amazing. And people are like, yeah, but there's, like, very little animation and the art's not that good. And I'm like, you're absolutely right, I guess. I sort of... Oh, dude, let's get some shock. No. Oh, yeah. Let's get some shock. I forgot we had invincibility. I was going to buy another active item. Ah, an item stack like Risk of Rain, I think. Okay, very interesting. Slowly figuring it out. But I'm so mechanics minded that I almost, like, can't put myself into the shoes of somebody that, like, wouldn't play a game. Well, okay, let me put it this way. Could I imagine a game being so ugly I wouldn't play it? I sort of can, even though I don't think I've ever experienced it. I definitely cannot fathom playing a game in, like, a mechanics... Let's go. Very genius play. I can't fathom playing a game in a mechanics-rich genre like this just because it looks nice, though. Like, that's the foreign concept for me. But anyway, we're not even talking about Aetherloop anymore. To be honest, I think I've kind of said my piece on Aetherloop, and there's a classic little Northernlion's law. If you... Ooh, you always get the life container, maybe? Let me caffeinate here for a second. If we're not talking about the game, that usually means the game is very good. It's on the positive side of the Northernlion tries, for sure. And we're definitely, like, we're in that camp right now. 30% increased critical. We're seeing a few of the same items over and over, I will admit. But I want to, before we, you know, kind of put a wrap on this one. I can only get one, and he's leaving in 20 seconds. Honestly, give me movement speed. Cursed with bad luck, whatever that entails. I want to get a little further to see, like, into the deeper loop of the game before I sign off on it. But I will say, like, again, not tearing any other games down that we played, because I honestly appreciate everything we played this year, and in general, like, I don't look at stuff for this series unless I think I'm gonna like it. So most of the stuff I play, I like at least to a certain degree. But I would say, like, of the roguelikes I've played this year, this one is definitely my favorite so far. On, you know, after like 20 minutes. So I mean, that could change in a multitude of different ways, especially because, you know, some of them are in early access. But for sure, this is the one I think I've immediately had the most fun with. I'm a little overwhelmed. No, I'm not. Pop that invincibility, get in there. I think I should try playing it a little faster. So let's not go to all these item rooms this time. Actually, I'm a fool. We should definitely go to all these item rooms. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, I just want to make sure I got full HP when we get down there, but let's just... I feel like if this plays similar to Risk of Rain, you want to buy as much as possible. Stacks fire rate for 3 seconds after killing a monster. Sounds very interesting. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about when I say it's like Risk of Rain, I'm not even a prolific Risk of Rain player. Quite the opposite. Much to the chagrin of my audience sometimes. However, I mean, there are mechanics in other roguelites that do this as well. Like Gungeon has spice, but in Risk of Rain, you could pick up an item over and over, essentially, to upgrade it and just keep your stats moving in that direction. So I think that's kind of the way the design is working here, but I'm not totally sure. I'll tell you, this is not my ideal time to have very poor range, but can't really complain. Everything seems to be going okay so far. Ah! I second guessed myself. I know we have invincibility. I just don't know if it's gonna save us. We could at least use it. Yeah, like, let's use it to just get in there. I feel like we have left ourselves slightly underpowered for this guy. And our new item, not very helpful against the boss, something we probably should have thought of in advance. But there's still, we've seen miracles in this game, or in these games. I don't know if we've seen a miracle in this game yet. Maybe surviving that second survival room. Oop. Just stay. Hey, as long as the projectiles are easily tracked, mentally speaking, we got a chance. Oh, I did buy a crystal heart, didn't I? So we're actually higher on HP than I thought. I think we're gonna make it, dude. That's good. I don't want to lose this run. I want to get more work done today, but I want to see this run through to its logical conclusion first. Oh. Oh, no, we lived. Very good use of invincibility when it mattered. Thank you. Okay, we're moving on. Let's go, boys. Now being able to walk normally on ice probably helping me out a great deal. Alright, let's see if we can get some truly absurd synergies. I feel like damage-wise against basic enemies, we're doing great right now. And, oh, okay, so they leave a bomb after they die. Very, very good to know. Oh, they leave a bomb if you don't kill them fast enough after they get down to 0 HP, I'm assuming. So I'm just using the ricochet. I'm assuming like there's a spawner over there, and that's why I'm not really able to make any progress here. So let's fall back a little. If we can keep the guys in like the other room, maybe they break aggro. We can come down here instead. Ah! Remember, you got invincibility. Lucky to be alive. Don't even know if I've landed like more than half a dozen shots on this guy. I respect as well. It doesn't start too easy. Oh, perfect timing. It doesn't start too easy. I think that's another thing a lot of roguelites are bad at, is difficulty balancing in the early game. You know, they're either like so hard that you're like, I'm making no progress, or you're like, they're so easy that I feel like I can just win my first run. This seems really good so far. This is Ether Loop. Came out on Steam within the past week. It is, let me tell you the price here. $10 Canadian for its opening week sale. After that, it'll be $13.50 Canadian, which is probably, I'm assuming that's in the 11 to 12 range Canadian. It might actually be 10, but anyway. Really cool so far. I actually like, a lot of the roguelites I've played this year so far, I've kind of left being like, they seem okay, but I don't know if I'll ever revisit it. This one, I'm like, oh, this is really fun. I totally, I get what they're going for. I think they've succeeded at it very well. And, I would definitely give this the tentative seal of approval after half an hour for sure. So for now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. I'll put a link in the video description below to check out Ether Loop on Steam if you are interested. Give it a shot if you like these kind of games. Apart from that, if you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!